Here to discuss, a member of the House Intelligence Committee, Democratic Congressman Mike Quigley of Illinois. Congressman, thank you so much for being with us. The breaking news we just confirmed this morning that the White House is considering bringing in this investor, this billionaire investor, Steven Feinberg, to do a review of the intelligence agencies. What's your take on that, sir?
Yeah, I think it's easy to see as an attack on the intelligence community. I think it's a shot across the bow, an attempt, in any other words, would be to muzzle the community. This is a post-truth, post-science, and now post-intelligence president who's more concerned about leaks than he is with the problem itself.
Okay, but to that point, the president does have the right to do this if this is what the White House decides. And isn't it essentially what was done after 9/11? Isn't it essentially what was done to get all of the intelligence agencies on the same page, which is why the Office of the Director of National Intelligence was created in the first place? This person would do that job.
Exactly, but what he's trying to do is bypass the issue at hand, which is the Russian involvement in our election. If he wants to get past the leaks issue, he'd be better served by fully cooperating with that investigation, the bipartisan, bicameral investigation, and telling these people to come clean about all communications that took place. Look, I agree, we shouldn't have an investigation by leaks, but this isn't a president who's on the high moral ground here. This is a president who professed a fondness for WikiLeaks, who encouraged the Russians to hack Mrs. Clinton. So if he wants to talk about this, I'd be glad to do it. I'd be glad to cooperate with the administration, but they have to get past the issue of leaks and get into the issue at hand, which is the Russian involvement with the democratic process.
Well, your Republican colleagues in the House of Representatives, including the chair of your committee and the chair of the Oversight Committee, the chair of the Judiciary Committee, they say they want the focus to be on the leaks and not on the substance of the contacts, the reported contacts between the Trump campaign and Russian officials. Do you think that your Republican colleagues in the House are trying to protect or shield the president?
You know, look, Chairman Nunes, and I've served under him for a couple of years now, has been very fair in everything he's done as chairman of the committee that I've watched. Yesterday, he reassured us that there's nothing off the table. Obviously, we're going to hold him to that point. We have to follow the facts wherever they take us. There are concerns that there will be difficulties in moving forward with this investigation. It's incumbent upon us, both sides of the aisle, to move forward to get the truth the American public deserves.
But as you know, Chairman Chaffetz of the House Oversight Committee does not feel that way. He and Nunes have been focusing on the leaks, and he said about Russia and Flynn in these conversations, the situation is taking care of itself. I mean, is that reassuring to the American people? Because it seems, Congressman, as though the president's getting everything he wants, at least from Republicans in the House.
Well, so far the fact is that most of the truth about this issue has come out through the press. So the president's tack on this is to attack a free press, to attack the intelligence community, and to stall on any sort of cooperation. I think that pressure coming from the public will push the Republicans to understand what they have to do to follow the public's lead and get the truth out there.
You know, we heard on this show yesterday from both Republicans and Democrats
Yes,
who want to see the transcript of the conversation between Michael Flynn and the Russian ambassador released. Would you like to see that made public, sir?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, at the very least, right now, the Gang of Eight doesn't have it, and the intelligence committees don't have it, and the Congress doesn't have it as a whole. So, I mean, the requests have been made. I do think eventually this will get out. The transcripts are absolutely essential. What took place, what was said between the general and the Russian ambassador. But again, the Trump administration has to get beyond this in fighting us at every turn. They must agree to fully cooperate with the investigation and tell anyone and everyone in their campaign and in their administration to tell us exactly what was said, what were the communications, and what, if any, promises were made with the Russians.
You know, you said that you haven't seen the transcript yet, which is interesting because you sit on the Intelligence Committee. Have you been getting the cooperation you want as part of this committee, which oversees the Intelligence Committee, to find out the information you want?
At this point, the investigation is underway. At this point, I'm satisfied with the information that we're getting. I'm concerned that this will be slowed at some point in time. My concern is, on this issue and many others, this country is facing what could be a constitutional crisis. I have faith that the process will move forward, but I do think the American public needs to encourage its lawmakers to follow these facts and to make sure there's no stonewalling either on either side of the aisle or in the White House.
Congressman Mike Quigley of Illinois, nice to have you on. Thanks.